I'm going to tell y'all how this day really went down. Most everybody who's posted here already knows that Teresa's been trying to kill me since the day I was born, right? I think Mom said I was around 2 when Teresa stabbed me in the ear with a pencil. And then about 6, she convinced me to jump out of a moving truck. I was 6. I hadn't had physics yet. I didn't know about the once in motion and friction and all that physics stuff. I thought I would jump, stick the landing, raise my arms in the air like a gymnast, and yell, ta-da! See, told you I could do it. But anyway, she was only 8, but somehow she knew the laws of physics and knew it was going to be bad. And one broken collarbone later, I had a much clearer understanding of physics. Fast forward to our early teen years. I know it's impossible to see now, but I used to be really skinny. Teresa and I were walking down Long Creek, and I guess it rained up the creek somewhere because flash flood, and my little bird legs were knocked out from under me, went underwater, but I felt this hand tangled in my hair. We say she saved my life, but when I think about it, I think she paused to decide, hold him down, or take this perfect opportunity to yank some hair out of his head. So she yanked the hair out of my head, pulled me up out of the water, and so we call it she saved me when we were in our teens. But anyway, the murder attempts slowed down when I grew to be as big as she was. But little did I know she was still plotting. I had surgery about a year ago, and they sliced through all the abs on my right side. And I've been extremely slow to get back at it. No, I take that back. I've been a couch potato, so I've packed on some poundage. You can see it running here a lot, but you can't see it in the video because most of it's down here. But anyway, I've been a couch potato, so gained weight, found it impossible to get up from the floor lately, or let's say, for instance, for the sake of this story, a slimy creek bottom. She's not fatting up like me. She stayed fit, and she's able to do things like stand up and sit down without making old people noises. So she took me kayaking today, and she convinced me to go with this. It's relaxing. I enjoy it. It's not hard at all. This kind of stuff. And so, okay, she showed me how to get into the kayak. Right as I was about to sit down, I don't know what the hell she did. She did something. I don't know what, but the kayak sprung out from under me, and there I sat in the water. Luckily, right there where we put the boats in, there were rocks, so I could kind of climb back and pull myself up. I finally made it into the kayak, but right away, right as we kind of get moving, she says, "It's shallow right here. You might drag the bottom." And so she was right. She dragged the bottom a little bit. I could hear it scraping. Sebastian went across. He dragged the bottom a little bit. It was scraping. This little piggy right here bottomed out like the Exxon Valdez. I'm not proud of it. But I could have been smart. I could have gotten out of the kayak and pulled it over to deeper water, but I didn't think of that. So what I did was I bounced and rocked back and forth like a 2-year-old in a Walmart merry-go-round to try to break free. And it worked finally after me looking like an idiot for a while when I could have just gotten out of the boat and pulled. Anyway, so then remember this too. I grew up with roller skates and skateboards, and I've ridden a motorcycle for years. On all of these things, if you want to turn, you lean. If you want to turn right, you lean right. You turn left, you lean left. That's roller skates, skateboards, motorcycles, any fun thing that you do. This is important. So if you don't hear anything else, listen to this. If you've never been kayaking, don't lean. Don't lean to turn, because the kayak don't work like skateboard. Don't work like a motorcycle. So I tried leaning, and I learned that you don't lean to turn a kayak. I had a really long streak of not swimming in the creek. It's been a long time since I've swam in the creek. That streak was over today. I flipped the kayak over. Well, maybe not really, because I didn't have to swim. But the problem was, I was only knee-deep water. The problem was, I was sitting there on the bottom of the slimy creek, and like in the bathtub, there was no soap dish rack to pull myself up with. There was no tree vines hanging down to pull myself up. I just had to figure it out. And like I said, with the surgery, I don't do very good with that, with the surgery and the extra weight too. But anyway, I wiggled around and struggled and finally was able to get back on my feet. And this time I got in the kayak. She didn't do whatever magic trick she did to make it jump out from under me. And I was back in the boat. And away we went. Every time I needed to turn, I leaned a little. And then all the water rushing into the kayak reminded me, don't lean to turn the kayak. She kept telling me to center my weight. But let's be real, the vast majority of my weight is in my abdominal area. And it's built somewhat like a really big jellyfish. A jellyfish just does what it wants. You can't center it. I don't know if anybody's tried. You probably got stung if you did. But anyway, I don't know how to center a jellyfish. So I wobbled down the creek, nearly stroked out a few times. Probably had a couple of heart attacks, little small ones. I didn't die though, from being out of shape. And just the moral of the story is, if your sister tried to kill you as a kid, she's not going to stop just because you got old. She still wants to kill you. And she almost got me today. But I made it through it. I'm okay. If anybody's worried, I'm fine. I think until our next try, I'm going to sleep with one eye open for the rest of my life. But anyway, that's how it really went down today. Bye.